What is going on, guys? Mr. Basie here, and today we're going to be doing some more Seduce Me 2, the Demon War. Basically, we're picking up again right where we left off. From here on out, it is going to be completely new stuff. It's not going to be any sort of like stuff from the demo. I'm going to skip over all that stuff and start pretty much right here on each Incubus beginning, simply because they all end here. They end right about where the boys drop in from the human world, and again, for whatever reason, followed by their wives. So that's where I'm gonna be. That's what I'm gonna be doing, is picking up from that point, because the beginnings are exactly the same as the demo. So if you're someone who hasn't seen the beginning yet, all you got to do is click on the link right above here. This will take you right to the playlist that I did all the intros for the demo. They're the exact same. Just watch them if, whenever we start a new Incubus, like for example, if we're starting Sam, I'm going to skip to this portion of the video or of the game, and you could go and watch the demo portion, because it's, again, literally the exact same. So that's just to save some time on my part and on your part, especially for those of you that have seen it with me, because there were a lot of people that watched the demo when I played through it the first time. So here we go. We're going to jump in right where we left off. The previous little line here was, now the question was, how would we both leave right after the boys and their wives, again, why, but whatever, dropped into the demon world. James gently loosened his embrace and looked at Diana, who was standing by our side and watching. I couldn't see his expression, but Diana stared wide-eyed, almost in fear of James. Why? As James began to speak, I felt some sort of violent power change in the room. While Diana held dominance before the incubi had arrived, it was practically ripped from her as James claimed me once again in his arms.
Care to explain why my bride is here, Diana?
Oh, jeez.
Your father.
I looked up at James to see him staring Diana down, as if he didn't believe her explanation. Well, can't we just say, hey, it's the truth? I mean, we heard the Demon Lord interrupt like 2 times. Now might be a good time to tell the truth. Let's tighten the hug. I tightened my hug around his chest, earning a soft squeeze from him in return, but he continued to glare at Diana.
And why have you not sent her back?
She tried. We should speak up at this point before anything dastardly happens.
Again, your father.
You're not making this believable, Diana. I watched as James' eyes closed further, almost hiding his whiskey brown irises in a unimpressed and unconvinced glare.
As much as I despise my father, why do I have a hard time believing that?
We should step in. From beside Diana, the spear guard stepped up and crossed his spear across Diana's body in an act of protection. He seemed unfazed by James's glare and almost felt like he was challenging him from the power play, thrashing in the air. Oh man. It was like James and Diana were opposing alphas and the guard was a protective mate. Or a referee. Although I know that's not really his style based on the demo.
Believe what you will. My lady was about to send her back before you came.
James looked to the guard and visibly sized him up. The guard glared, tightening his grip on his spear, but remained beside his mistress. Oh my. As James looked back to Diana, his hold on me tightened. Go on. Diana sighed softly and placed a hand on the guard's shoulder, looking at him, but the guard refused to turn himself or his spear away from me and James.
He cast a curse on your bride-to-be, barring her from leaving this world alive.
Fantastic.
A curse?
Yes, thank you for the echo.
Yes. She can't leave this world unless she dies, or until we kill the Demon Lord.
Oh, jeez. Now, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that the food absolutely sucks here, I'd be like, well, we could find a safe place. I'm sure James could protect us in the demon world. The majority of people are naked in the demon world anyway, so could pose well in our favor. Of course, only when it comes to him. I don't want to be seeing everybody, but whatever. I could feel James's arms tense around me. For some reason, the look in his eyes changed from anger to almost hopefulness. Was he hoping that we would be able to leave? I hoped so.
Now, I must ask that you recognize whose kindness you are testing.
Oh.
Settle.
Jeez. Diana tightened her hand on her guard's shoulder, almost digging her nails into his jacket. However, her eyes remained on James, now submissive to his dominant stare on her.
We have been fighting him consistently and have successfully pinned him into a corner. Our next attack will be on the Demon Lord's castle, and it will be the final battle.
Oh, jeez.
Succubus, if I may.
Wait, what? Why did he address her that way?
No, you may not.
Oh, well, get shut down. The lanky man stared wide-eyed at Diana, but she ignored him. Instead, she continued to stare up at James, unfazed at her harsh tone towards her companion. James eventually released me from his embrace and faced Diana and her guard, standing tall and almost looking down his nose at them.
And when do you plan to attack him?
Oh gee, what are you thinking of getting in on this? With a nasty snarl, the larger demon male stepped forward and glared hard at James. I felt my body tense in reflex, but James continued to stand tall.
Why the fuck should we tell you?
Oh, language! And again, change your shorts, please.
1 week's time.
Alright, there we go. Now that we got that out of the air. Everyone in the room shot their heads towards Diana, mostly in shock or surprise.
What? 1 week?
You're one of the main council here. How did you not know, fairy lady? I looked at Diana, watching her unable to turn away from James's gaze. She was entranced, but it seemed as if she wasn't able to even pull away from the gaze battle between them out of fear. Oh, out of fear? Damn.
Where is this number coming from, Succubus?
Her mouth.
We need to fully prepare ourselves for the final stage, which I'm certain will only take a couple of days. We've pinned him into a corner. The Demon Lord will fall.
See, now, am I the only one not doubting this? Because I believe it.
That's rather bold to assume.
In the previous game, they were saying how she could... I don't know if it was the previous game or if it was the demo, but they were saying how she could control, like, armies. So I would assume that's, like, a good thing, right? That's something you got good on your side.
She's right, though. We can prepare everything in that time frame, right?
You just said she was right. Now you're questioning it? Lady.
If he does the same and attacks us before
Then we meet in the middle. I watched as Diana walked over and cleared the table of the materials they had gathered for the gate spell, revealing a physical map of the Abyssal Plains. She pointed to a spot on the map, a peninsula surrounded by water labeled as the Decaying Sea. That sounds like a great place to visit.
We'll cast a barrier spell along the edge of the peninsula and around the castle. He and his army won't be able to move from that spot until we break it ourselves, which will be during the siege.
But then he'll, like, know when you guys are coming once it goes down.
Where would we get the energy needed for that kind of spell?
We won't be using energy.
Sacrifices? The other rebel demons in the room suddenly tensed up, staring at Diana in surprise. What was she gonna do?
My lady, you're not suggesting...
Was it the same thing as the Demon Lord did?
The Demon Lord has shown how far he is willing to go to win this war. It's only fitting to show the extent we'll go into.
Oh. Oh, damn. Poor baby soldiers about to get freaking crossed off in, like, the thousands.
As much as I agree with you, this seems a little rash.
Get some ointment.
What are you guys talking about?
He's freaking oblivious. Like, hey, what's going on here, man?
Are they allowed to know?
I plan to put a barrier curse around the Demon Lord's castle and army. It's temporary, so it won't need the blood of 1,000 demons.
Oh.
But it will need the sacrifice of at least one demon life.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a demon life.
And I assume you'll be sacrificing one of my soldiers.
Is this our only option?
He's not. I guess he's not happy about that. I guess he might not care. He seems like a guy that kind of wouldn't care.
There are other options, but they will most likely take a lot of energy to pull off.
It just depends on what we want to do. If we want to do this immediately, then the barrier curse is indeed the best option.
Man, you know, so the first game was pretty heavily. I mean, it was a good game. It really focused on, like, the drama aspect of things. But I think this game is gonna do the same thing, but, like, really be action packed too. Like, it just seems like it's gonna be pretty crazy.
I'm not opposed to performing the curse. As rash as it is, it will make our lives easier in the long run.
You expect me to hand over one of my men?
Oh, he does care.
My soldiers joined the rebellion to kill the Demon Lord, not to get their throats slit before even seeing the final battle.
But, well, one of the injured dudes, right?
It's wrong, but can we really afford to spend any more energy? Diana already spent a lot trying to send the human back.
I'm sure that they've got, like, the Demon Lord has, like, scouts, like, kind of patrolling and going forward in our territory to kind of, like, you know, scout us out and everything. We should just find one of them and take them, you know? Then it's kind of, it's still a sacrifice, but at least it wouldn't be one of his guys.
What is the other option?
The rabbit woman and the fairy moved towards the map and pointed at the peninsula. Oh yeah, we still don't know their names.
We could form tall rock walls around the castle. Box them in.
It will take a lot of our energy, but we can recover in that week period.
And what will stop the Demon Lord from tearing down the walls?
I can imbue the walls with holy magic.
What? The incubi and I looked at him, all of us equally. Yeah, I was gonna say, what? A demon with holy magic? How?
How the fuck did you get holy magic? You look and smell like a demon.
Oh damn! Smell like Dookie. I don't know what a demon smells like. Apparently, it smells like Dookie. That's what goes through my mind. The guard held up his wrapped hand, letting the beads around it dangle with the sudden motion.
I've had the ability to use holy magic ever since I was taken in by my lady's family. There's no doubt that I am a demon, but I can't recall how I gained this ability.
Yo, you like a low-key angel or something? They don't know it? How is holy magic different than demon magic? He has like a spray, it just says demon smell. He just spritzes himself with it.
It's white magic. Unlike demon magic, holy magic isn't so finicky. Think of it as warding or dispelling magic. You can't bless air or anything that doesn't have physical form, but you can bless objects to fight back against other forms of magic.
If the walls were blessed with holy magic, the Demon Lord wouldn't be able to escape until we released him.
Why not just trap him forever?
Yeah, right? Starve him out. So that's an easy win. I mean, it might take a little longer, but it's guaranteed.
That's idiotic. He would still be a threat regardless. Holy magic doesn't last forever. And stone will crumble eventually.
He's right. We wouldn't be able to keep the walls up forever.
They should wait until, like, they do break the wall, because think of it, like, they'll be so fatigued from not having food and expending all the energy on breaking the wall. The moment that the wall comes down, just lay into them, you know what I mean? That would be pretty badass. The situation became more and more complicated the more we discussed it. How are we going to go about this?
We can't just sit around and debate this forever. The longer we wait, the more we risk him striking back at us.
Well, that ain't gonna do.
But is it worth killing someone to trap him?
When we finally strike, we will lose hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers.
That's what I'm thinking.
What difference will it make to lose one more life on top of this?
Soulless fuck.
Your vocabulary is very extensive, I will give you that.
We can still cage him in.
I bit my lip. It was a really tough decision, a curse or a trap, which was better. Both had their prices, but we had to choose one. From the look of it, no one wanted to speak up, so I felt the urge to say something. Why they listened to me, I don't know. Maybe it's my garb. Maybe I would be the one who would determine everything. What gives you that, like, gumption? I don't even know. What gives you that assumption that that's what's going to happen? But which method would be the best choice? Okay, look, see, if it were me, that's what I would do. I would say trap them in there, make them waste their time and energy on breaking the wall, because, I mean, they're going to need a lot of troops, I'd assume, to actually get through the wall. They're not going to have food, you know, all that stuff. Obviously, it probably won't play out like that, but that's what I would do, because I think that's a pretty smart plan. And then, like, as soon as they break the wall, you know, then you attack them while they're weak. They're already going to be weak because they're being pushed back into the castle, right? They're already trapped. But they'll be even weaker if you force them to break the wall, then attack. That was just how I would do it. I say the trap. Yeah, definitely. Wait, is that the right? Yeah, trap. Everyone in the room looked at me as I finally spoke up. We need to be better than the Demon Lord. He was willing to sacrifice lives to trap me here, but it only showed how desperate he was to win and how little he valued life. He would lose this war one way or another. And see, in both cases, we're doing the same thing, but I think one is more efficient than the other. At least that's my... If it goes the way I was thinking. It probably won't, but who knows? It wasn't worth losing someone who could help turn the tide of the war. Some baby soldier. When can you put a barrier up?
We can leave after this, meeting is over.
That's what it is. Don't downsize it.
Are you sure this is the best choice?
The curse isn't the only option. We need to show that we're better than him. Everyone nodded, some in reluctance while the others did with confidence. I looked at Diana just in time to catch a twitch from her visible eye, but she shook her head and looked to the rabbit woman. Why are you upset? In both situations, you're getting what you want. We were trapping him, right?
Are you quite positive this will work?
I am very certain. Since it will be just 3 of us going, we can shadow travel there and be back by the morning.
Oh, I hope Rabbit Lady doesn't die. She was so nice. Diana looked at her guard and nodded.
Very well. If you believe it will work, then I trust you will make sure it does.
Oh, dang. As the guard nodded and slightly bowed, the other demons seemed to let out a sigh of relief. all the baby guards like, oh god, thank goodness, I thought my gonads were about to be gone. Were they worried about performing the curse? Diana shook her head before crossing her arms and looking directly at me.
So, since you'll be here for a while, We might as well give you names that you can use to refer to everyone here.
Are we getting human names?
Must we?
Diana rolled her eyes and gestured to each demon, naming them on the fly. Oh my god.
For the sake of time, we'll use simple names. This is Rabbit, our
Sweet.
magic advisor. Sergeant, commander of our armies.
Nice.
Shadow, leader of our assassins. And Faye, our nomadic force ambassador.
Oh, cool. Wait, okay, Faye is the, the fairy lady. Sergeant, commander of our armies. Dude, he's doing a pretty good job at commanding if he's a sergeant. That's pretty cool. Because sergeant is a pretty low rank, though. I'm just saying.
Sergeant?
Yeah,
I'm
see?
a commander, succubus. Shouldn't my name be commander?
It's easier on the tongue, though, to say sergeant.
Yeah, Sarge. Shut up.
My lady, what shall they call me?
Spear dude. Diana looked at Sero for a moment before turning toward me, a look of seriousness emanating from her eyes.
You may call him Sero. He is my personal guard, and he is always by my side.
Well, damn. Look, he's even surprised. Like, damn, I didn't sign up for that. So I thought I was about to go on break. The other demons in Sero seemed to be surprised. Was Sero his true demon name? Why would she give me his true name? So maybe we can call on him.
Are you sure?
Call him only if your life depends on it. Do not abuse this permission.
Yeah, dude. Her eyes seemed to burn as she glazed into mine. Oh, dang, alright. Full of hard intent and warning, I mentally noted her seriousness as she ran a hand through her hair.
Well, now that we have a plan and introductions are out of the way, I believe we can end this meeting. We have a lot to accomplish in 1 week.
Damn. She was looking at us with so much intent, it was kind of like jealousy or something, I don't know.
What about us? You don't expect us to sit around.
That's kind of the feeling I got when, in the previous game when she was trying to take back the guys.
Actually, I do. You all don't belong on the battlefield.
Oh, get scrubbed on.
Wait, hold on. That's not fair.
You want to lose your husband, lady? What the?
I will not take untrained and unarmed beings into a war zone.
Oh wait, that's not her husband. Sorry. You want to lose, whatever. You guys get it. I interjected, stepping forward and crossing my arms at Diana. She seriously wasn't going to make us stay back while she fought the Demon Lord, was she? Is this really what we should do? That's not fair, Diana. We can fight too. I mean, I want to get into the action, but this is not what I would say in real life. I'd be like, hey man, that's what you want to do? I'm all for it, man. I don't want my wife or whoever I end up being, because she's probably gonna go too, this lady, or the husband. I don't want them dying. I don't want my brothers dying if that's the case, right? Screw that. We can fight too. That's not fair. Let's just sound like a little bitch. Like, that's not fair, Diana. It wasn't fair at all. I was stuck here, so it should be my choice of whether or not to fight.
I'm only trying to make sure you all get back to the human world safely. I can't expect you all to fight in this war.
Let me and my brothers train then. We're demons, for fuck's sake.
Damn.
Not a fight.
Damn. The boys stared at Diana as she turned her head toward Sam. He was right, though. They knew how to train, so they could fight. If they fought with the rebellion, there would be a better chance of winning this war.
You all realize this is a war, correct? You can die here.
Yeah, right?
We understand completely.
We do too, Diana.
Who are you? With your freaking kitten socks. What is going on? Why are you here? Diana could only stare at our group as we challenged her proclamation. I wrapped my hand around my fiance's arm, frightened of the idea of participating in a war, but knowing that we needed all the strength we could muster to finish off the Demon Lord. This was the only way that I could go home. Now, see, I might have just screwed up because I just realized that the choices in this game can affect lives. I might have just killed James. I don't know what I just did. Defeated, Diana sighed and rubbed her temples.
Very well.
Oop.
I can't exactly keep you here like prisoners, so it will be up to you if you choose to train for battle. However, I highly suggest just staying here and allowing us to handle it.
Man, I want to take your advice, but I don't know if the game's gonna end up being like super straight boring. Probably not. But I want the most action I can get. I want action. I want drama. I want sexiness. It's gonna go down. I nodded as did the others. This was really happening. We were going to kill the Demon Lord, and we had 1 week to either prepare for war or wait it out. Diana turned towards me and looked down at my outfit, at my garb. I had nearly forgotten that I was still in my garb, until Diana pointed at my chest. Do not make me like you, please. I don't want my freaking tatas hanging out. I stared at her, unsure of why she was speaking in Latin, until I felt the fabric around my body shift and change. I quickly looked down to see my wedding dress morph into an outfit that looked perfect for the demon world. What does it look like? The white top shifted into a long-sleeved, oversized tunic with a leather corset and vest, while the bottom part of the gown split and wrapped around my legs, forming into dark leggings. My shoes stretched into long, knee-high boots.
Wow, that's so cool.
Who are you? I blushed, getting used to the feel of the outfit. The corset wasn't tight, but it was still something new along with the rest of the garb. The garb. James, however, smiled down at me and kissed over my yeah, he's liking it. Look at him, he's liking it. Look at it. Look at his face.
We'll save the wedding dress for when we return.
You just know you like looking at her like this. Right.
Faye, Rabbit, you both should finish your preparations and head over to the Demon Lord's castle for the spell.
How are you going to get there?
I'll get us there, no problem.
Just make sure we don't get stuck there or lost.
No promises.
That never instills confidence.
Sarah, make sure the job is done.
I shall, my lady.
Sarah, Faye, and Rabbit began to make their way out of the room as Diana turned to me and my group. As they left, Diana let out a small sigh.
I will take you to some rooms you may rest in.
Thanks. I didn't... Wait, what? That's not my line. Yeah, thank you, Diana. Diana merely nodded and led our group out of the room towards our new temporary rooms. This was completely crazy. I was stuck in the demon world with a man I loved, and I had to wait until the war was over to even consider going home. I held James's hand tightly as we walked through the halls of the castle, now worried and remembering my nightmare once again. I began to feel nervous, nauseous even. There were so many things wrong about this, and there were even more things that could go wrong with this plan. Kill the Demon Lord? It sounded so simple, but this war had been going on for a while. Who knew truly if this was the final battle? James most likely felt the nervousness in my hand as he gave it a gentle squeeze, catching my attention and breaking my thoughts.
Are you okay?
No. No, I'm not. Let's be honest, man. We're not okay. We're freaking out over here, about to pee. I couldn't lie to him. I was worried about this whole ordeal. Add on the fact that we were in the demon world where James came from, and my worries increased tenfold. James gently squeezed my hand, leaning over to kiss my head gently.
Everything will be all right. We'll get back home soon enough.
We best. I know, but... James looked to me, staring at me with worry of his own.
Are you worried about your nightmare?
Damn straight. I don't want to be locked in no dungeon, you know? No one wants that. I don't want to be smelling pee. I don't want to be smelling decaying dudes. That's not fun. I'm just saying. I nodded. The nightmare I had mildly plagued me, reminding me of what things James could potentially do. I knew it wasn't the truth, but a part of me became fearful of it honestly being the case. James furrowed his eyebrows slightly before releasing my hand and wrapping it beneath his arm, walking with me like a gentleman.
Whatever happens, I promise that no one will hurt you.
All right, I'm holding you to it. I'm gonna hold you to it. I squeezed James's arm, believing him at least for now. We have like no trust. I'll believe him for now. It was comforting to know that he was going to protect me and help me through this. We continued down the hall, led by our guide toward our room. The others were given rooms apparently on the opposite end of the castle, while James and I claimed the ambassador's room. I had stayed in the night before. Oh, at least it was a room I was familiar with. Oh, and that comfy bed too. We might be doing some weird stuff. I mean, it's just a bed. I don't know why I thought there was going to be weird stuff. I began to space out, imagining what was going to happen. We would kill the Demon Lord, break the curse on me, and go home to be married. That was the plan, but what if we couldn't kill him? What if he was more powerful than we thought? James, however, gently nudged me, catching my attention and breaking me from my thoughts.
Did you know that time works differently between the human and demon worlds?
News to me. I could tell that he was trying to calm me down with something else to keep my mind on. I became curious as to what he meant. Time works differently here?
Indeed. In this world, time moves slower. What would take a day to grow in the human world would take 5 days here.
I was astonished. Time was that different? I began to wonder how long had I been gone from if that was the case. If James read my mind, he smiled at me.
You were gone for about 5 hours before we found you.
Oh, damn. 5 hours? I had been in the demon world for an entire... Okay, I thought it was the other way around. I was like, man, freaking Suzu and Naoma are going to be freaking old women before I get back. The entire day, but back home, I hadn't been gone that long. It made no sense at all, but James continued to speak as I stared in shock.
When you didn't arrive at the hall, we sent everyone home and used our powers to make sure no one would be suspicious. Once everyone left, we tracked you down and came here to find you.
I nodded in reply, taking in the explanation. It was crazy to think about, but I guess it made sense. My mind wanted to fight it, but I had to remember this was a new world filled with its own rules, so human logic didn't necessarily apply here. We finally arrived in our room and were left alone for the night. I sat down on the bed, feeling the exhaustion of the day take over as James examined the room carefully. He walked around the room, observing each bit of decor with curious care.
So this is Lilith Castle.
Oh. I raised an eyebrow. This place had a name? Most places do. I mean, I call my place Bazy's crib. No, I don't call it that. James nodded, walking over to the tapestry on the wall and examining it as he explained.
This castle was the home of the first succubus, Lilith. Demons of Lilith, like myself and my brothers, come from one of thousands of branches of her bloodline. But we're not pure-blooded incubi. Diana, however, is a pure-blooded succubus, directly descended from Lilith herself.
Oh, damn, some sort of hotshot. My dream flashed before my eyes, reminding me of Diana's words towards James. I nodded in understanding as he continued with a small smile.
That's why her family was able to convince the Demon Lord to make her my betrothed. They were extremely powerful and could easily charm others, being of pure Lilith blood.
I can only imagine it. Remembering how Diana controlled an entire school like it was easy for her sent a small shiver down my spine. If she was that powerful, then how powerful was she now after so long? James chuckled a bit, breaking my thoughts.
Of course, you know what happened after that.
Yeah, she got scrubbed on. James finally walked over and sat beside me, softly wrapping an arm around my waist and bringing me close to him. I nuzzled his shoulder, enjoying the warmth of his body. I remembered clearly what happened. James chose me after all, and I chose him. We loved each other and defied Diana's attempts to take him away because of it. I couldn't have been more proud of myself at that moment in time. James leaned down a bit and whispered in my ear, making me shiver slightly in his arms.
Besides, the woman I'm engaged to now is more amazing than any princess in all of the 5 worlds.
Well then, compliments. I blushed at his words, feeling my heart skip a beat. James really did love me. Alright, what's better? I mean, kissing is pretty cool. You know, cuddling's pretty cool too. This will probably get things started. He was so sweet and caring. I felt blessed being able to be with him, both as his fiancé and physically in the same world. My worries began to slowly break apart and melt in my chest as I looked up at him and leaned in, capturing his lips with my own. James seemed surprised for a moment before he let a soft groan escape his lips and kissed me back. He gently pressed a hand on the back of my head. Okay. I was like, what the hell? Keeping me close as we kissed each other lovingly. It was almost orgasmic. The way his lips moved against mine. Jeez, man, that's some sensitivity right there. If that's almost orgasmic, damn. As we slowly pulled away from each other, letting our breaths intermingle in the space between us, James smiled. I became lost in his whiskey brown eyes, wanting so much to forever be entranced by them.
Come, let's get some sleep. We have a lot to do tomorrow.
Sleep. I nodded and both of us settled into bed, drifting to sleep as our heads hit the pillows. I felt at peace knowing that James was by my side. But my peace didn't last. Oh. Oh, gross. What the? I felt the void around me shift and blind me because I can't see right now. I'm brightened to a blinding white, causing me to shut my eyes. Feathers gently brushed against my skin and I lurched and squirmed away from them instinctively. What was happening to me? Oh, you're talking pretty gross there, pal. Can you chill? Oh. Diana's voice echoed through the air, surprising me and causing me to look around. As I turned my head to look behind me, a pair of arms wrapped themselves around me and held me close. That's James, probably. Wah!
Don't struggle.
Never mind. Saro? What are you... Dude's feeling me up. Jeez. So he called her somebody crazy? Oh, silence, medium feather. I became lost in what was happening. Nothing was making sense, but I knew that they were speaking in some form of Latin. The voices that weren't Diana and Saro, however, struck fear into my core with each word they spoke. On Diana's command, Sero cast some sort of spell, causing his body and mine to become enveloped in gold light. I felt every nerve in my body heat up almost uncomfortably, making me squirm slightly in Sero's arms. Sero, however, tightened his hold on me and continued casting his spell. The world around me suddenly went dark, and I found myself shooting up in bed, awake.
What?
Oh, this guy gets no sleep with us, man. No, seriously. His nights are just like completely interrupted all the time. I looked to my side to see James, shaken awake by my sudden outburst. His eyes were glossed over from exhaustion. See what I mean? But he continued to watch me with worry. This was the second time I woke him up like this. Damn it, I suck. I'm just kidding.
Why are angels hunting you?
Where are you? Where'd you come from? James and I suddenly shot our heads towards the sound of Diana's voice, seeing her and Sarah by the door. She had her arms... Dude, put on a shirt. Get decent. Oh, I'm being hypocritical. This guy always has no shirt. She had her arms crossed and a look of pure irritation on her face as she awaited my answer. However, I didn't know what to say. Angels were hunting me? I stared at Diana, confused as to what she meant. James sat up at last, matching her expression with irritation of his own.
What are you talking about?
I wasn't speaking to you, Rick. James.
We know his name. My eyes widened at the slip. Did she almost say James' real name? Diana growled and clicked her teeth before looking to me again, glaring harder.
Your dream almost allowed them to erase your memories.
Oh, that wouldn't have been good. We would have woken up and be like, who the hell is this dude? Oh my god. My body chilled at the thought. What the hell? I was confused and fearful of what was going on. What was happening? Why were angels even after me? James wrapped his arms around me, seeing me visibly shaken at Diana's words.
Explain, Diana.
Ask your fiancée why she's targeted by them. Don't ask me. I want to know as well.
Like, I know. What have I been able to do? In the first game, I stopped rain, and in this game, I stopped air. Like, I'm not really that great, okay? Don't say anything. I don't know, man. I'm being truthful. I truly didn't know. What could I say? This was the first I had heard of angels hunting me. The dream was not a dream I had never experienced before.
Angels don't target just anyone. They have to have a reason for hunting people down to erase their memories.
Maybe I'm just that fly. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they liked my garb.
Especially when their target is in the demon world.
Oh, jeez. I held my head and shook it, trying to figure it out. Did I do something wrong? What did I do to incur the wrath of angels? Diana sighed and rubbed her temple.
Well, they've been expelled from the castle for now. For how long? Who knows? However, we need to figure out why they are trying to take your memories away.
Looking up at last at Diana, I could tell that this was a serious situation. Sarah looked at the floor, exhausted from casting the spell to expel them himself. Diana growled beneath her teeth as she looked to the wall.
Another problem. Great. Can this war be any more irritating?
It's a war. I felt myself curl up into myself at a bit at Diana's irritation. I was already a problem that she was going to help solve, and now there was a second problem on top of that. James hugged me gently against his chest, comfortingly, feeling me shirk back away from Diana.
Is that all?
From the tone of James's voice, he wanted Diana to leave immediately. Diana looked over and stared at James, a flash of slight fear in her eyes, before her face hardened to a cold glare.
No. Whatever you are doing to try and make me fear you needs to stop.
What do you mean? It's obviously working. By the way, do you like never wear clothes? Just wondering.
I don't know what you were talking about.
Say what you will, but I can recognize fear enthrallment anywhere. Thank your father for that.
Oh, jeez. I looked at James, seeing him glare hard at Diana while Diana simply glared back. When my eyes trailed to Sarah, I could see a form of jealousy burn in his gaze at my fiancé. What was happening? James?
Yes, love?
Diana turned on her heel towards Sarah, now furious for some reason. Sarah, seeing his mistress... Oh, she's jelly. She's gel piece. Quickly turned as well and opened the door for her. Because he said, like, yes, love. Like, he's addressing me as love. And she's like, I don't need to listen to this. I don't need to listen to it.
Sleep. We have work to do tomorrow.
Jeez. Well, thanks. Oh, I mean, I was going to say, thanks for waking us up, but that was my fault. Oh, man. Diana left with Sarah right behind her, closing the door. James's embrace finally relaxed around me and pulled me close. What was that all about, bro?
I don't know.
All right. No, we believe... Should we be pushy? Let's be pushy. James nodded as I turned in his arms to fully observe him. James's face seemed very genuine. Still, something was off and I knew it. It had happened when James arrived and apparently only occurred when Diana was around. It was some sort of power struggle between Diana and James, and he was winning, at least from what I could tell. I shook my head. If James didn't know what was happening, then maybe it was just my imagination. James, however, stared at me with pure concern written all over his expression.
But was Diana right? Are angels after you?
How am I supposed to know? I don't know these things, okay? I don't know. I just had a dream that was full of light and feathers, and a look of fear ran across James's face for a moment before he shook his head and returned to his calculated but worried expression. Was Diana correct? Was an angel attack and not just some random dream? My memories recalled when I was captured. The voices that appeared in my room before the imps came sounded so similar to the ones in my dream. Had they been angels as well? This was crazy. What was going on? First I'm cursed, then I'm hunted? This was unbelievable in every sense of the word. Nothing made sense, and this entire situation was confusing. What would angels want with me? James shook his head and kissed my forehead.
Well, they're gone now. Let's get some more sleep.
All right. I nodded, wrapped my arms around James, and lying back with him. He slowly began to pet my hair, most likely waiting for me to sleep first before he did. Slowly, I closed my eyes and let the darkness of sleep take over me once again. Dude, I wish I could fall asleep that quick. This time, there was no rocky dream. I simply floated in the darkness until I naturally woke up, still in James's arms. I looked up at James's sleeping face, so peaceful and almost happy. His arms around my form made me feel warm and fuzzy inside, causing me to cuddle closer to his body. Unconsciously, James pulled me closer to him, wrapping his arms tighter around me. I could tell he was awake, however. His breathing wasn't slow like it usually was when he slept. James? No response. He was pretending, which made me giggle a bit. Little things like this took my mind off the world and made me forget my troubles, whatever they were. I guess that was the blessing of being in love. I smiled and kissed James's cheek, making his smile grow a bit more. I knew it. I know you're awake, bro.
No, you don't.
You just spoke. Now we know. I laughed and playfully smacked his upper arm, making him laugh as well, and opened his eyes to look at me with a loving but tired gaze. I became once again lost in his eyes as he smiled at me.
Good morning. Did you sleep better?
Yes. I nodded, knowing he would be happy to hear it. I was more than happy to say it before snuggling into his arms, nuzzling his chest. Gross. I mean, not gross, but it was weird the way it was put. For whatever reason, when they said nuzzling, I just imagined like a horse chewing in that thing. What about you? Did you sleep well? James nodded and ran his hand through my hair, petting me lovingly.
I did. All I did was dream of you.
Oh, so sweet. A soft blush formed on my cheeks before I looked up at him, seeing him smile down at me.
It's the truth. Would you like to hear?
I felt myself nod before I even tried to think about the question. James smirked a bit before wrapping his arms fully around me and leaning to whisper in my ear.
I dreamt that we were on a private island, basking in the sand beneath the sun.
Sounds nice.
The wind was perfect, and you looked absolutely stunning in your swimsuit.
Of course. I began to imagine it myself, causing the blush on my face to intensify. As James tightened his hug around me, my body began to heat up on its own from the warmth that his body gave me. Oh my God.
You pulled me into a kiss, one that I couldn't help but melt into. You kept teasing me until I pinned you down against the sand, and I made you beg for me to kiss you.
Oh, well then. James peppered kisses along my... I was like, what the heck? James peppered kisses along my neck, making my body shiver at both the image of his dream and the feeling of his lips upon my skin. I let out a silent but shaky sigh as James nuzzled my head, opening his mouth to say more. Alas, our moment was broken by a loud knock on the door.
Boy! Quit fucking in there! You got food for... Go! Little shit!
Well then. Jeez. We weren't doing anything of the sort. It might have led there, but we were not doing that, okay?
Oh, I don't want to imagine that, dude.
Yeah. What Matthew said.
We do have food, though. May we come in?
No, let's fucking make James put his ween piece away before you do. James and I let out a simultaneous sigh, so much for enjoying the moment. This was the misfortune of not being alone. I knew that we would eventually have our alone time together, but for now, a blush of embarrassment ran across my cheeks in response to Sam's allegation. James smiled and kissed my forehead before lifting his head and sitting up.
Come on in. We just got up.
And we weren't boning. What the frick? They're trying to make shadow puppets over there? I sat up as well, right as the door opened to the hallway, revealing James's brothers and their wives with plates of food. Damn, Are we even decent? What am I wearing? Eric and Irene each carried 2 plates and handed the extras to me and James.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Irene.
My pleasure.
Fabulous. On the plate was food I recognized: bread, cheese, fruit, and some sort of jerky. I assumed it was safe and something I could stomach. James placed his plate on his lap before looking to the group.
So, training starts today.
Finally! I get to kick some ass.
You're probably like a dummy. I wouldn't get too excited. You're training, bro.
You kick ass anyway, you dork.
Oh, look at Carrie being supportive. Sam blushed and rubbed his neck before stuffing his face with food, not wanting to say any more. Matthew laughed and nodded.
We know what you mean, dude. We can finally kick that old man's ass.
Oh. Keep forgetting it's their dad.
Not to be the skeptical brother here, but is it possible to become stronger than him in just a week? It's been a while since we've had any encounter involving combat after all.
Let's just show him like a Rocky clip. Proves everything.
Kill him.
Oh, damn, Damon. The dude like says nothing. He's like so menacing. Everyone looked to Damon, seeing his stern and cold expression. I frowned, knowing why Damien was so angered at the Demon Lord. As the bastard son, Damien had been left for dead and only survived thanks to his brothers. Damn. Damien had, I didn't know that. That was probably said in the previous game. Damien had more reason than most to hold a grudge against the Demon Lord. James, however, cleared his throat and looked to Eric.
We won't be fighting him alone. This rebellion will help us and allow us to focus our energy on defeating him.
I've been waiting years to kick his arrogant brute face in.
Damn.
I think we all have a grudge against him, Sam.
We got this.
I would not be so sure.
Damn, Sarah, wait a... We're pumping ourselves up here, man. Everyone turned to see Sarah in the doorway alone, leaning against the wall with his arms crossed.
Oh, Sarah, where is...
My mistress had a rough night. She's still recovering from it.
Who caused it? Oh, wait, never mind. What am I saying? I was taking it as a sexual thing, but never mind. I grimaced, knowing that the reason she had a rough night was because of me. Sarah, however, seemed to be re-energized and somewhat bright-eyed. We probably know why. His gaze landed on James and glared hard, causing my fiancé to straighten up a bit.
None of you know what has happened these past 10 years. None of you know of the Demon Lord's true strength.
Then would you care to enlighten us?
At last, Sarah pushed off of the doorway and walked further into the room, closing the door behind him. He looked to each brother, examining each man before settling his gaze on James again.
The Demon Lord is a madman.
You don't need to tell us that.
No. He was mad before, but he lost his mind completely when my mistress formed the rebellion against him. He's killed thousands by his own hand alone out of pure rage.
Damn. Sarah's grip on his spear tightened as something resurfaced in his thoughts, reflecting in his glare.
Too many times has my lady faced off against him and almost lost her life in exchange.
Oh, damn, really? Sarah's cold stare rehardened itself on his face as he shook away the thought and looked to Damien, who had a stony expression to match.
What makes you think that you, a band of humanized demons, have any chance of destroying him on your own?
Dude, we're boss, and we're boss. The brothers seemed to glare in unison at Sarah as did the wives. I, however, saw his point. The boys had been in the human world for over 2 years. They had missed so much here and had grown accustomed to human life. I had only been here a day and knew that this world was much more ruthless than the human world. Sam stood and marched towards Sarah, standing almost nose to nose with the guard and giving him a terrifying glare.
What makes you think we can't, Rick?
Damn.
I have seen with my own eyes what the Demon Lord can do in battle.
We had to live with that sack of shit for almost 100 years as his sons. You know more than you ever will.
Damn, you doing pretty good, man. You using that, like, whatever, that men's hair gel stuff so you don't get gray hairs.
Sam, that's enough.
No, it's not.
Sam and Sarah continued to glare daggers into each other's souls, anger burning in their eyes without any sign of retreat.
We had to live with the fact that our dad burnt down villages, enslaved people, and stole hundreds of lives day after day, ending his night fucking a woman who was chained to a goddamn bed. What the fuck makes you think that we don't know anything about it?
Miss, please exit the room. There are some foul things being said here. Damn. Damien seemed to flinch at Sam's words, but his angered face maybe that was his mom, remained as Sarah and Sam had their stare down. Sarah, however, remained unfazed.
Like I said, he has completely lost his mind. If he was a monster before, he is Satan himself now. He does more than slaughter and burn villages. He takes prisoners and paints the ground with their blood while howling into the sky. He leads legions of imp demons who do nothing but make sure their victims suffer in agony before making them beg for death. He now takes pleasure not in a bed, but in the screams of millions.
Oh, shit, okay. In an act of defiance, Sero straightened his back and almost towered over Sam, gritting his teeth.
If anything, the reason he's as mad as he is now is because you all decided to run. So the blame for this war rests on all your shoulders.
Oh, shit. Way to freaking be a dick. Oh, instantly Sam's fist met Sero's jaw and forced him back towards the door. Damn! Sero slammed into the door and gripped his hand over his mouth, rubbing it in pain.
Sam!
Oh, shit.
Sam!
Fuck you!
Oh.
Don't blame this fucking war on us!
Get wrecked, scrub! Oh my god, Sero wiped his lips of fresh blood that began dripping from his mouth. Damn, what the hell? Freaking Hulk punch him? And glared as if the punch wasn't as painful as it looked.
Arrogant mutt! The call of the human world was too tempting for you to ignore. You have forgotten about duty and responsibility.
We left because we were tired of the lives we had.
You left the world and everyone in it to become the victim of a madman and a world war. None of you understand what we have even sacrificed to stay alive.
No, we don't. And we never will.
James finally stood from the bed and placed a hand on Sam's shoulder, forcing him to step back. As James rejoined Carrie, who wrapped her arms around him in comfort, James looked to Sero.
But you cannot blame us for wanting to be free.
Oh, okay, I was like, what's going on? Sero, on the other hand, began to laugh. It was a painful laugh, but one full of anger.
You have no right to defend yourself, eldest son.
Oh,
because of you specifically, my mistress's entire world was destroyed.
I stared wide-eyed at Sero. This was about their betrothal. But James did what was best for him. He and I didn't care about the consequences of our love, but Sero's painful words made me shake. Sero's eyes began to burn once again, in jealousy at James and rage at his words.
Because of you, the only people she had in this world, her family was brutally murdered in the most sadistic of ways.
Shit.
The imps painted the walls of the castle nursery in the king and queen's blood, while her unborn baby sister was ripped from the queen's womb and nailed to the wall like a hunting trophy.
Well then, is this real? Like, holy shit. Damn, poor babe. I felt sick to my stomach just imagining it, despite not wanting to in the first place. The imagery was too much, but Sero continued without Oh, can you please stop,
Sayer
dude?
had to watch her kingdom burn before her eyes and listen to the screams of her people when she returned from the human world after hunting you all down. It was only after the siege when she saw the fate of her own family.
Oh, damn. Look at James like, oh shit, man, I scrubbed it up now. Sero finally straightened up at the sight. He looked powerful and strong, but his eyes burned with anger and rage as he glared at James. For the first time in my life, I saw fear run through James's eyes.
Yet you all claim innocence. You all know nothing of innocence!
Oh shit, this guy's going off, man. He ate his Wheaties this morning.
Enough, settle!
Oh shit. Everyone shot their heads towards Diana's voice to see her standing in the corner of the room, shrouded by shadow. However, I could faintly see tears running down Diana's cheeks despite the terrifying anger on her face towards Sero.
You will not speak of the past again, Sarah. Understood?
Man.
Yes, my lady.
Alright guys, we're going to end it right there. I know it's a little bit of an intense place to end it, but I am running out of time here, so we will be picking it up yet again with pretty much right where we're leaving off. We're going to start again right here. Let me know if you guys want like a little mini recap before each video where I'll just scroll back a few choices just so you guys can kind of remember what was going on, because I know I can't do daily videos of this because I have other games I need to do, but if that would help you kind of keep the flow going for you guys, I'd be more than happy to do that. But let me know in the comments, are you enjoying this game? Did you get it for yourself? Remember, if you want to be part of that giveaway, all you got to do is drop a comment down below saying that you want to be part of the giveaway. Literally all you have to do, for the Crusaders giveaways, I have begun to allow people to re-enter each video. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that for you guys. So if you want to enter again, because the way I want to do it is the longer people end up watching, the more chances I want them to have because they've been watching longer. So I think that's only fair. So you can go ahead and drop your name in again. Every single video that you want to enter, just go ahead and, say I want to enter the giveaway in each, brand new video's comment section. That's all you got to do. That's all I'm going to ask. And again, it's not required and it won't increase your chances of actually getting to win the giveaway or putting your name in more times. But if you guys could share the video, if you enjoyed it, if you think it's worthy of being shared, I would greatly appreciate that as well. So again, drop some comments down below, entering the giveaway and letting me know how you enjoyed. All right, guys, and with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed. Definitely make sure you rate the video what you think it deserved. And if you did enjoy, please consider sharing the video as well. That kind of stuff really helps me out a lot, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or any social media really, or even word of mouth with your friends. That's really awesome too. Of course, it directly helps me as well as the entire community and is greatly appreciated. So with that being said, if you want to become a Sage in training, make sure you subscribe today. And as always, this has been Mr. Basie, your favorite Sage, and I'll see you in the next video.